going on, YouTube? It's your main man, Mr. Council, back with another one. Saturday motivation. You know how we do. I chose Saturday because Saturday is the day that's uniquely your own. Most people work a 9 to 5, so when they get to Saturday, they feel it's necessary to take their foot off the gas. For most artists, creatives, businessmen, I understand that Saturday is the day to put your foot on the gas and handle your business. How we doing today? It's another beautiful day. It's cold out here where we are in Connecticut. So I'm going to try not to be on here too long. I know I say that a lot, and then I get a little carried away, but I want to try to see if I can kind of shorten the length of these videos. Just try to get right to the point, but a lot of times a lot of information comes up when I start talking, and, you know, God just takes it from there. Anyway, I want to talk today about the audacity of courage. The audacity of courage. What is courage? A lot of people feel like people who are afraid of nothing are courageous. And I think that's more being brave. I know it's the two words are synonyms, but there is a difference. But courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to move forward in the presence of fear. It takes a special person to move forward and do something that they're afraid of, something that has a huge cost, a huge risk. And oftentimes that's the main reason why people don't live their best life or do what they're meant to do, because they're afraid. Life is hard. We all go through so many different things as children, as adults, that shape the way we see the world and that give us pause in particular situations because of our past. And so it's totally understandable for someone to be afraid, but it's really cowardice, in my opinion, to not actually find who you are and what you're meant to do and actually live that out. I know that's a harsh word, but it's reality in my mind. Ever since I was young, I knew I had something about me that was different. It was certain things that I knew I couldn't explain to adults. I couldn't really express myself the way I knew I needed to. And I knew I wasn't the most handsome kid. I wasn't the strongest. I was overweight. But despite all of those things, I never saw myself as lesser. I don't know if you can understand that, but I never saw myself as lesser than anyone else. I always believed in myself, and I knew I had something to offer this world in some sort of way. But I was always afraid when I was younger. I remember when I joined the choir when I was a kid in church. And when I first joined the choir, I was just excited to be in the choir. I wasn't trying to be a soloist. I wasn't trying to be a show-off. I just loved to sing. And when I finally got my opportunity, I was pushed out there to do solos because of my ability that people recognized. But then I shied away from that because I didn't want the spotlight. Just like today, I don't want the spotlight. But you have to do what's necessary with your gift. It's not about what you want. And when you finally remove yourself from your own situation and your gift even, then you realize it's not about you. Your gift is not about you. It's about the world. It's about who you're meant to influence. And that's why we all get to different levels in life. Some people get pushed and projected all the way out, and there's a price that comes with that. We always look at and look up to those people and revere them people, but it's always a price that we don't necessarily understand. And some people aren't necessarily meant to go all the way, but that doesn't mean that their contribution isn't just as significant. But most people don't act because they're afraid that they won't make it. They're afraid of what people think about them. They're afraid of what people are going to say about them. And when you finally can disconnect yourself from those idiotic ideas, then that's when you'll find true peace and become the person that you're supposed to be. If you're constantly worried about what somebody's going to say about you, you're never going to do what you're meant to be. You're never going to become who you're meant to become. If you're constantly worried about what the consequences are, as opposed to just taking it one day at a time and giving it your best, you're never going to be the person that God made you to be. Now, I'm not saying that you have to run out all reckless and fearless, but it comes a time in your life where you have to stop and understand who you are and why you're here and what your responsibilities are while you're here. And then it is your duty to move forward. That's the difference between a child and an adult. And you see some children who are courageous. And those children are pushed out as examples. And you can even learn a lot as an adult from a child who is courageous. I learn so much from my students all the time. And I'm open to learning from them, because if I was ever at a position where I thought I knew everything, then I would be a fool. See, if you're not constantly learning from others, that's arrogant, because you're putting yourself in a space where you feel you know it all, and none of us do, and none of us ever will. We don't even know what's going to happen after we leave this place. Not concretely. We can say what we believe, but nobody who's still living really truly understands what's on the other side. And so we don't know how precious our time here is. You don't have time to waste. Especially during this time where people are dropping like flies. People are getting sick. Hospitals are filling up. And people are dying. People are dying without living out their full potential. We got kids getting sick. Kids and children being hospitalized now because of what's going on in our country. And so we don't have time to waste. It's your time to step out and be who you are, and stop worrying about what other people think about that. That's why I don't worry about what people think about what I'm doing. It's always somebody who's trying to tell me what I should do with my gifts. And there's nothing wrong with suggesting. But when you try to tell or make somebody do something because of what you see in your mind, especially when you know that person already has a laser focus, it's crazy. Now, as a teacher, I feel it's my job to tell my students, not to tell them what to do, but to give them ideas about what they might want to pursue when they get older. And then it's their job to take it from there. It's not my job to tell you what to do, because your abilities are limitless, and I don't know what your true abilities are. I might be able to see something that you're great at and give you an idea of what you can do to pursue it. But if that's really not your calling on the inside, that's not something that you were born to do, then that's just could be something that you're good at. So it's not my job to tell you what to do with your gift. It's your job to figure that out, and then spend the rest of your life trying to actually live it out. Can you be courageous? Can you ignore the naysayers when you know your gift is from God? Can you not worry about what people are going to think if you fail at first? Because as long as you continue to try, it's not failure, it's just another lesson. See, just because you fail a few times doesn't mean that you need to give up, or what you're reaching for is impossible. It just means you're not ready now, and you got some more work to do in order to get there, especially when you know you're gifted and talented at something. When you know inside what you're great at. And if you don't, it's time for you to stop and figure that out. And once you do, man, the possibilities are endless. And we need your gift, because what you do, nobody else can do. God made you unique for a reason. He gave you particular gifts for a reason, because nobody else can be you, and nobody else can touch the people that you were meant to touch. So yes, it is your responsibility to be courageous and live out your life the way you're supposed to. Not necessarily by my rules. And I understand if people have doubts, because I had doubts along this entire journey. Not doubting myself and my abilities. At no point do I do that. But if it's going to happen or not, because it's taken so long. But then once I start to look inside of me, then I see particular reasons why. And so I have to continue to work on those things to make myself better, because it's not the destination, it's who you become along the journey. And I love who I'm becoming. I love the discipline that this journey is giving me. I'm becoming a whole new person, and that's why I have my album Better Man Chronicles, because I want to document my journey and my growth as a musician, as an artist, as a teacher, as a man, because I want to inspire others through my actions, and not take credit for their success, but just pay it forward. So you have to understand, there is no one like you, and there is no one else here that can do what you do. So it's time for you to get up and be who you are, and stop worrying about what people have to say about it, because their opinions do not matter. I think it was Steve Harvey who said, somebody else's opinion of you isn't your business. And if you can't learn something from someone that you don't like, you're missing out. You need to mature. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about who you are meant to inspire through your gifts. So if I can inspire you today, there's no better time than the present to get started. And if you're already started, stay focused and continue. Stay the course, because God has something special for you on the other side. And it takes courage to trust and believe that. Even when you have no evidence of growth, you have no reason to believe, you believe anyway. That's true faith. See, people that talk about faith don't really live it. And that's why I don't listen to particular people, because you're not living what you're speaking about. See, people don't learn from what you say, they learn from what you do. So you can say whatever it is that you want to say, but unless you're actually walking it, talking it, living it, nobody's going to care or actually believe what you're saying. Because people have been lied to all their lives. So words, in a sense, don't mean as much as actions to most people. So stand today. Become who God has made you to be. And live out the rest of your life doing that, because you don't know who you're inspiring. And I'm going to keep living every day in service and discipline and continue to get better, because I know that that's what God has called me to do. So I'm going to let you go, but I want you to understand, please stop worrying about what people think. Because worrying about people, what people think, will stop you from being great. And we need you to be great. We need you to do you. We need your inspiration. We need your talent. We need your gift in this world, or else you wouldn't be here. So figure out who you are, stop making excuses, and get started, because I'm rooting for you, and I know I'm not going to stop. Be blessed this day. Stay focused and stay true to who God made you to be. And don't worry about what anybody else has to say about you. That's my time. Peace to all my people in the struggle.